Okay, so we're on the second video. So I'm going to go ahead and look for a tile of mine. So let's import, because I don't, this is flat, and if you hit tab, you see it's four different verts there, which is actually pretty bad. I don't like to use that, but let's go over something else real quick, even though I already have a tile to use. But we'll just go ahead and delete these vertices that allows me to grab the edge. I'm going to hit E for extend, and then I want to go along the y-axis, and I'm going to take it over to 5, because a tile is 10 across each way, or 5 from the center. You know, if we go from the y out, that's 5. So you got 5 positive, negative, you know, and same way at the x-axis. Anyhow, now I'm going to highlight everything, and I still have it on 2 for edges, and then I am going to do a right click and hit subdivide, and that subdivided that, and I'm going to hit right click and hit subdivide again. And for me, I like to go a little bit more, so more something like that, because I would like to do raised tile. So now I'll hit 1, and so I can go to verts. I can go ahead and go overhead view. I'll select these 4 in a corner, these 4 in a corner, just basically selecting my corners. And I come over here and I'm going to raise those to, let's do local or global. Let's raise those to 6.4 for example. Bam. Now the corners are raised on my tile. And if I get back out of here, so tab out, you can kind of see here's what my tile's looking like. It's still, you see a little bit of blockiness to it. It's got more of a slope here and there, but instead of your standard flat ground, I like to do something like that. That being said, I've already got a tile that I'm using for some of my work that I've created to get the right flow that I want. So I'm going to import that in here, and I'll use that as my new tile base, basically. So let's do that real quick. Import Aurora base, and go to my Blender folder. Let's do where is it? Tile sets, and I believe the last ones I was definitely working on was the walls. So let's do Dark Sun, be Desert City, wall. Well, let's do desert. I believe desert was. So city. This here. Let's be no. Here. Okay. So here, let's import this tile. And now I can, this one here is the one I imported, right? So G, Y, get that over here out of the way. I am going to go ahead and delete this one because I don't want to use this. I'm going to grab this one here. No, that's the sand color, so I'll get rid of that one. And that's the one I want. So I'm going to go to the square here. I'm going to take it off of its parent, which is what links it to the base, which is under relationships. So I'm going to get rid of that. That brings it back over to a 0 state, and I'm going to get rid of this tile stuff here. So, but my current tile is this here. So I'm going to highlight this, copy, so Control C to copy that, and I'm just going to paste it in here, Control V, Control V, and then hit enter. So I don't know where that snuck in from. That must have been imported in when I imported the tile. So, anywho, here's the tile we got to work with. If we go to tab and go down here, we'll see that this is the walk mesh, and it's set to yellow. So since it's set to yellow, it is actually sand. So that's why this is all sand. Now, I did decide to make a few changes here. You can see how these are like set up in the squares like I was doing with that other tile. I've decided to make these all negative 4.9, and 4.9, 4.9, and negative 4.9. Okay, so what I did is I basically have this little edge here can't change. I can't allow this edge to change. And the reason for that being is anything in the middle of this tile can move. Okay, you can move this up and down. You can do whatever you want, up, down, change it up however you want. But as long as the border stays the same, because the way it works is, let's tab out of this. Shift D will allow me to make a copy, right? I just hit a right click, so I just snapped it back to the middle. Now I'll come up here and do, say, X, and let's do 10, and it stays it over to the side, right? Now, the reason why, tab, these two flat edges, see, this is going to have a flat edge on this end of the tile and a flat edge on this tile here. I can move this tile anywhere I want, and when you're on a tile, you can see how it seems like pixelated. Well, I can take and grab that, highlight everything, go to mesh, and let's go shading and smooth faces, tab. Now look how smooth that looks. Okay, you can smooth it, but okay, I had both of them selected at the same time. Here, let me just smooth this one. Tab A, meshes, and shading, smooth faces. Okay, so now this one's smooth and this one's kind of not. Now what I'm getting at is you can smooth anything on a tile like this, but you can't smooth where two tiles meet. So if you have an angle, like say how this angle on this is, angles like that, and you see that crease right in there, you'll have that angle here if these two planes aren't exactly same straight across. Okay, so the vert right along the edge matters, and the vert right behind it matters, because that gives you the straight flat plane. And same here. So I've got this nice flat plane, say let's do 3 right here. See, that's nice and flat. And then the next one right across from it is as well. And then that'll make it look smooth and won't have a crease or fold in it when two tiles are next to each other. But anything out in here, even though it does have creases and folds in it, you see these creases and fold, we can use that ability that I used on this one and smooth it. So you can't smooth where two tiles meet, but you can smooth the other. However, that being said, now if I look tab A, and if I do the same thing, mesh, and let's do shade, smooth faces, tab, oh my bad, meshes, shading, smooth faces. Okay, now you can see that little line, but you won't see that in the tool set. That's just where the two tiles meet. But there is no crease or fold or anything between the two. Blender's just showing a line there, so that way you know there's two separate meshes. But you don't see anything. Okay. Now you can't smooth. Let's do it. Take it off or go back. Okay, so I've got this here. Now let's do Shift D, and let's go over another 10. There we go. So let's take tab. We'll go to 2, so we can choose these edges. Or let's do this. Choose the edges. And let's just raise it. GZ. We'll raise it. Nah, I don't know. About like that. Don't have to be a lot. What are we raising that? Let's do 6, 3. Okay. And then tab. Now we'll go to this one. And we're going to do the same thing. Well, we'll do the same thing. And we're going to make that 6.3 as well. 6.3. Right? Tab. Now, they're both touching each other, but it's not. They don't have a flat plane, because it ramps up when it gets to the thing, and then it ramps back down over here. But there's no flat plane anymore because this edge line isn't the same as the first line behind it. So when I take and grab this, tab A, mesh, shading, smooth, whoop, shading, faces smooth, tab, A, select all, and then faces, shading, smooth faces, tab. You still get that, see that nice crisp line through there, because I can't smooth where the two faces or the two tiles meet. So that's why I create like a border around my tiles, in a sense. And the reason why I also go with a small border, because the smaller the border is, the smaller the flat plane is. If I went as wide as these squares, it'd be a nice flat area on both these tile for a distance, instead of looking like it's just free flowing, you know, for the tile. Now, that's enough for now. That's explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing. We'll go over the next in the next video. So see you at the next video.